Hi, my name is Bettina Campolucci Bordi and welcome to my home. In our household, we celebrate two Christmases. One Scandinavian Christmas on the 24th and British Christmas on the 25th. This year is going to be slightly different. We're going to be celebrating a small Christmas, just us, the family. It's going to be my husband, my daughter, our little kitten and our dog. So I'm going to be showing you how to make the ultimate Christmas nut roast. It's an amazing centerpiece to have. It's a great meat-free option and can be made gluten-free as well. We'll start off with some sweet potato. You can use other root veg as well. I love using swede and parsnips. It's very Christmassy. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna roughly chop up this sweet potato, just in quite large chunks, and they're going to boil for about 20 minutes until nice and soft. While those are boiling, I am going to chop up some leeks, and then I've got a couple of cloves of garlic that I'm also going to chop up, and I've got some shallots, a hot pan. I'm going to add some olive oil to that, and I'm going to add my lovely shallots and garlic. I love using olive oil in cooking, especially when you're sort of going for Mediterranean flavors. So you've got garlic and onion, which is a perfect combination, makes your house smell amazing. We're gonna add our leeks. I'm just gonna pop the lid on here to help them boil, and while those are cooking, I'm going to add some mushrooms, and I use the stalks as well, so I just pop those off, quickly chop them up, and we'll be cooking down for about 5 to 10 minutes. With plant-based food, I'm a really big fan of textures. So when you bite through this nut roast, you're gonna have the texture from the mushrooms, and you're gonna have the lovely flavors of the trio of root veg as well. So this is boiling nicely now. We're probably halfway there, so I'm just gonna pop the lid off, and we're gonna add some salt, coarse black pepper as well, and I'm gonna let that cook off really nicely here. If you want the full recipe for this, there's a link below. So this Christmas, we are going to give a little love. We've decided that we're going to make homemade Christmas cards to give to our neighbours and to family and friends that we won't be able to see this year. So I'm going to add some fresh herbs. I'm going to add some sage, some rosemary and some beautiful thyme. With the thyme, it's very time consuming, but you just need to pull off the leaves. And I'm just going to roughly chop the sage and the rosemary, and then I'm going to add all my lovely herbs so you get a beautiful aroma. And as you can see, the leeks and the mushrooms are getting lovely and crisp, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to switch this off, and I'm just going to pierce my root veg, and they're lovely and soft, and that's ready to go now. We're going to go straight into mashing our root veg. So just roughly mash them. You still want a little bit of texture in. Then we're going to add our mushroom mix with all of our beautiful herbs. And we're going to add some pre-cooked rice, and you can use white rice or brown rice. And the reason I add this is to have a little bit of texture and bite into the nut roast. And then we've got ground flax seeds, and you can also use linseeds. It's basically the same thing. So this is going to be the binder and what keeps this nut roast all together. Then we've got almond meal and roughly chopped walnuts. You can use hazelnuts as well. Then last but not least, we've got some cavallonero. And if you can't get hold of cavallonero, you can also use just normal kale. I've de-stemmed these and just torn them off. And basically what we're gonna do is give this a really good mix. I'm gonna use my hands. It needs to be really well incorporated, so don't be shy. You can kind of feel how it's sticking together. Oh, okay, the mixture is looking perfect now. I'm going to wash my hands really quickly, and then I'm going to put it in the tin. So I'm going to talk you through our first option, which is a traditional baking tin. I line it with a bit of greaseproof paper. However, we're going to go all out because it's Christmas. So I'm going to be using this tin. You can find this in John Lewis, and this is going to look amazing when it pops out. So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the nooks and crannies. Right, I'm going to get all the mixture out. I'm just going to push it down. Whoopsie daisy. I want to make sure that it's really tightly packed. There we go. This goes into the oven for about 40 minutes. So whilst the nut roast is in the oven, we're going to make the glaze. We've got some Dijon mustard, some maple syrup for sweetness, some tamari. So if you use tamari rather than soy, then the whole recipe is gluten-free. Right, time for the pièce de résistance, which is popping out the nut roast. I'm going to use some greaseproof paper, something flat because it's going back into the oven. That goes at the top. And breathe. Oh, and there we go. Yes, it came out. It looks perfect. Look at that. I'm going to baste it for some extra flavor. It's going to create a beautiful crust on the top. So we're gonna pop this back into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. And while that's cooking, we are going to go straight into making our lovely apple cranberry compote. So we've got a pan, we're going to add our apples, and they go. Some fresh cranberries, but you can use frozen as well. Just a dash of water. A dash of maple syrup. And we've got some fresh ginger for some zing and a squeeze of lemon. And this is a really quick compote, so I'm gonna put the lid on. And while that's cooking, we've got a hot pan and I've got cavolo again. You can use kale as well, so you don't need to use cavolo, but I think this will look beautiful on a plate. So I've massaged it with a little bit of olive oil. And what we're gonna do is just quickly flash fry them. I'm just gonna add some tamari because that's basically going to act as our salt. Add a little bit of toasted sesame oil. It's got this nutty toasted flavor. So actually you'll be able to enjoy the garnish as well as it looking pretty. We're just gonna check on the compote. That is, look at that, that's beautiful. A little bit of liquid left in here. So we're gonna let this cook for another 15 until all the liquid has evaporated. This is ready to come out. Wow! Everything is ready, it's time to plate up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a bed of cavolo on a beautiful serving platter. Get your best kit out, it's Christmas, we're going all out. So I'm going to try and slide it off. And then I'm going to add my beautiful cavolo. And don't worry about leftovers. If you don't eat it all, you can crumble it into a hash, you can make bubble and squeak. It's lovely with the compote as well. Look at that color. It's beautiful, it's red, it's Christmassy, and it smells amazing. So there we go, looks great. Going to add some toasted walnuts and just a little bit of scattered compote around the cavolo. And look at that. This is my version of a nut roast. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I hope you will be too.